Facebook world. This is Dean Jacobs. I'm back with another live Facebook broadcast. I made a commitment to myself a week ago. This is day 7. I made a commitment to myself over a week ago that I would do live broadcasts every day for 30 days with empowering questions. Hey, Shelly. Good to see you back. With empowering questions. So I'm back again. It's a Friday night. Who would imagine I'd be giving a live broadcast from Fremont, Nebraska in my office with empowering questions, but we're all in this together. Hey, Lisa. Hey, Mimi. Right? And hey, Ashley. And we are all going to find our ways through this situation, and not just through it, we're going to become better as a result of it. Eric Francis in the house. My photographer buddy there in Omaha. Thumbs up to you. Anyway, I'm back again. Hey, Ken. Everybody's jumping on. People have been sending me messages. Hey, Dean Jacobs, when are you going to come on with your another live broadcast? I had to go for a walk. I went for a long. It is cold outside. I don't know where this finds you, but in Fremont, Nebraska, it is super cold. But I bundled up. I was like, I cannot be inside any longer. I need to go out and move my body a little bit. So I went out and moved. Went for a 2-mile walk. I only saw 2 people walking in that 2-mile walk. But actually, that's not that unusual in Fremont, Nebraska, especially not for a Friday night. Anyway, Rachel Wise, how are you, my Nebraska State School Board friend? It's good to see everybody popping up. I'm keeping my commitment to do live broadcasts every day on empowering questions. Because remember, when we get caught into that negative narrative on that other side of that wall of fear, there's a whole world. Hey, Denise, there's a whole world waiting to be explored. We let that wall of fear stop us. We get trapped here in small boxes. And what I mean by small boxes, we feel frustrated. We feel limited. We feel a bit helpless and hopeless. And I know there's some people feeling that way out there. So this is a reminder, we don't need to be stuck here. We're going to find ourselves in moments of being there, but we don't have to let ourselves hang out there all the time. And the negative narrative that comes in the news, and I want to be aware of what's going on in the world, but I don't want to get sucked into that whole dynamic 724, because it's just like an IV drip that just takes away my passion, my curiosity, right? So I want to be aware of what's going on in the world, but at the same time, I don't want to let myself get trapped in here and feeling hopeless and not feeling like I can do anything. And so I made the promise I would do a live broadcast with empowering questions, because one of the ways we stretch that box up is by asking ourselves good questions, questions that challenge us to think and challenge us on what we feel on the inside, right? And I'm going to keep going back to that metaphor of the little boy who comes to his grandfather and says, "Grandfather, I feel like I have 2 wolves always fighting on the inside. Grandfather, which one wins the fight?" And the grandfather turns to his grandson and says, "My son, the wolf that wins the fight is the one that you feed." So this is just a reminder that we want to be responsible. We want to be responsible. I want to be responsible for what I'm feeding my brain. That's why I limit my consumption of media right now. I'm very aware of what's going on, and if I'm missing anything, I got some friends that will give me some texts. But I don't want to get caught into that negative narrative. It's like it gets sticky and traps me in here, and then pretty soon we don't see any of the possibility. But that's not what we're supposed to be doing here. We're supposed to be stretching, blowing those babies up by dreaming big, by living tall, so we can do our part to make the world what? Better, right? And that's how we declare to the world, we are here to make the world better. Thumbs up. So thumbs up to all of you for hanging out with me for a few minutes on a Friday night as we go through another empowering question. Oh, and Sharon Peterson, I don't know, I haven't seen her pop up yet, but she finally she was the first one to acknowledge while I was saying all these silly things about sealed in a mayonnaise jar on the front porch since 9 o'clock this morning, or 7 o'clock, whatever it was. And that was old skit from Johnny Carson, our Norfolk, Nebraska native entertainer. Sure, I guess we could use him today, couldn't we? All right, now, empowering question for day number 7 on my challenge. This is a good one. And the question is, how have I become me? And what am I like? How have I become me? And what am I like? Oh my gosh. Oh boy, that's a good question. Makes us think. That's why they're empowering questions. They're gonna make us think for a little bit. So my question is, how you're welcome, Mimi. How have you become you? How have I become me? Well, I've become me by a series of choices that I've made in circumstances where I find myself. I become me by who I've decided that I want to be versus looking to the outside world to define who Dean Jacobs is going to be. That's part of why I'm doing this Facebook Live challenge, because I've decided I'm not going to let the outside world define my passion, my commitment, my contribution to the world, to my Facebook friends and family, to the educational kids, to the little ones who look for me as a role model and inspiration. I take that responsibility very seriously. So how have I become me? I become me by an accumulation of the experiences that I've challenged myself to have. If you don't know a lot about my background, I've been through 58 countries and invested 8 years of my life. All of that has rubbed off on me. I've gotten to meet incredible people from all over the world, like Scott Gullery and down in New Zealand. Just a little shout out to you there, buddy. And people in Israel and Africa and all that lives within me. And part of that is part of who Dean Jacobs is. That's how I've become me, because I've been treated with such kindness and dignity and respect and the goodness of humanity everywhere I've been. And that's part of who I am. I take that on, and then I double down on that and give it back to the world twice as much. That's how I become me, by experiencing the goodness of humanity everywhere I've been, and repurposing that into myself and giving it away to everybody I encounter. That's why when I stand in front of 400 elementary students in front of a gym and I tell them that dreams are not for special people, they're for everyone, it's because it's authentically, that's what I believe. If an elementary kid, they will smell you a mile away, and if you don't really have conviction, not just speaking loud, I'm talking about like feeling it in knowing it in your mind and feeling it in your heart. Like, when you stand in front of these kids and you tell them that dreams are not for special people, they're for everyone who's willing to take responsibility and ownership for those dreams. The only way that you can do that is to become yourself and do a little bit of hard work. I have pulled back many layers over the lifetime of this journey, and some of it has not been easy, and other times it's been beautiful, and it's been the whole spectrum of humanity. But in that process of getting to know me more, the more I have an understanding of myself, the more I can give myself away. Make sense? And the more that I can actually be a service to the world, contribute to the conversations, contribute to those around me. And what am I like? What am I like? I'm That's such an interesting question. I am like someone who's fun and joyful and has energy and conviction and passion and determination, who is humble, who is present. One thing I'm really, really always challenging myself, and right today in particular, in these circumstances, it's an extra challenge, but I'm not giving up on it. I'm doubling down on it, is to be present. Hey, Jake, I hope things are good up there in Santee. I've been thinking about you guys a lot. And what am I like? I'm someone who is present. Like here now. Like I'm right here now with you, hanging out in this little virtual world of Facebook. I'm not like thinking about other things. Like I'm just here now with you. A little connection of humanity. That's what I'm like. I'm like someone who's got a sense of humor, who enjoys this journey of life. I know in this pile of poo there's a pony. If I dig deep enough in that pile of poo, I don't know if you know that story or not, but I know if I keep digging in this pile of poo, there's going to be some ponies along the way. I'm always telling the kids, doubling down on that goodness. Isn't that right, Jenica? My CHB, my coaching comrade and awesome friend. I'm always telling the kids, I want to tell you a story. Can I tell you a story quick? I feel like life has somewhat prepared me for the challenges that I face. I've been through 58 countries, backpacking around the world, 8 years of my life, and it's exposed me to a lot of different experiences, and that has widened my perspective. And I'm always telling the kids about, if we're not encountering some challenges along the way, we're playing small. You know what I mean? We're playing small. And I had this great video of monkeys climbing all over me in the Amazon rainforest of South America in Colombia. And I had like a dozen or more monkeys climb on me. And when they left me, they left a few piles of poo. They left a few piles of poo on me. All right? And that's how it goes. And you know what I did with that pile of poo? I brush it off. Do we let those things get in the way of following our dreams? No. And as we go through life, and we're kind of all experiencing this together, which makes us a very unique pile of poo, right? But we're always gonna have a few piles of poo. That means that we're actually in the game. If you're not in the game, you're never having anything that challenges you. You're never having anything that demands that you bring your best self forward, right? So this is one of the pile of poos along the way. And we're going to get through this, and we're going to do whatever we have to do, not only to get through it, but use it as an opportunity to become a better version of ourselves. And the way that we do that, we continue to think about our dreams. We continue to think about how we can live tall, such as honesty and dignity and respect. And we continue to think about how we can make the world better and better by being engaged with it. And sometimes we do it in the physical world, and sometimes we do it in the virtual world. That's my commitment. That's why I'm doing these live Facebook pages, why I'm challenging me to get out of my comfort zone to do these actually things, because I'm challenging myself to make a contribution to make the world better. I want to walk my talk. So I hope that this serves you in some way, that you hear something in this to remind you that life is not an accident, that you are, you tell Hagen hi. My little buddy Hagen. I didn't see him on my walk today. Thank you, Ashley. But I'm going to use this to challenge us to remind us of the fundamental truth that it's not an accident that any of us are here, but that we are here to make the world better. And whether we're stuck in a house or what do they call it? We'll have to come up with a term for that. Whether we are what do they call that when they go on vacation? Home vacation, or whatever that. Whether we're there or we're walking down the street, we're always given the opportunity to leave it in a better place. The two people that I walked by when I went for my 2-mile walk, you know what I make sure I did? I said hello. As a matter of fact, I engaged them in just a little conversation, like, good to see you all. Enjoy it, even if it's colder and all get out. Good to see people out here. And thumbs up. Because we will get through this together, right? We'll get through this together. I guess, and what am I like? I guess I just live what I'm like, which is someone who's passionate, determined, loves life, loves to share the joys of the journey and make a difference along the way. That's what I'm like. All right. Okay, I hope this serves you guys in some positive way on our Friday night here, wherever this may land on your phone or wherever it comes to you. It's been fun hanging out with you. There will be another live video tomorrow. I'm working. I don't know about y'all, but I've been working on things that have been sitting in piles in my desk in my offices I'm getting a lot of stuff done. I'm getting a lot of stuff done because I'm not just going to sit back and get caught into that negative narrative that will steal my oxygen away. I'm going to make sure that I'm staying in action. So that's who I am too. What am I like? I'm someone who stays in action. So my challenge to all of you is find something that means something to you tomorrow, this weekend, because all the days are kind of the same at the moment, and to stay in action. Some kind of either clean, send some message to friends, read a good book, but some form of action, so that way we're not just sitting here hoping something changes, something gets better. The only way it's going to get better is by when we take the responsibility of what we think, and then having that be stimulate or motivate or inspire the actions as a result. Okay? All right, thumbs up to all of you guys. Thumbs up. You're welcome, Brenda. Really, it's wonderful to have you here. Wonderful to have all you people here. Now, if you know someone who needs to hear this, this will be saved on my Facebook page. It also gets archived now on my blog, which you can find at deanjacobs.org. There's a drop-down menu to that. So if you want to share my blog entries with the people, I always put a few extra bonuses, questions on there to keep nurturing that mindset, because mindset is everything now. Especially when we find ourselves in, what are they calling it? Something in place. Isolation, not isolate, like quarantine, and stay home quarantine or whatever it is. Hey, Kevin Parks, good to have you here, buddy. So we got to make sure that we work on our on this thing, on this thing, on this thing. And no one controls that except for you. So you want to make sure you feed the good stuff in there, okay? And that's how we're going to stretch and blow this box up over and over again. And so we can nurture our dreams, live tall, and continue to make the world better. Be the good, my friends. Be the good. We'll shine bright. We'll get through this on the other side. And as a result of this, we're going to have a better world when it's all said and done. All right, we'll see you guys tomorrow. Thumbs up to all of you. Bye-bye.